appraisal, right? As you can see that CAIIB registration is already started yesterday, and we have total 4 subject here, right? That is ABM, then ABFM, BRBL, BFM, and the last one is your elective paper. So I think you all are having some confusion in your mind that which elective you should choose, right? So one elective paper is there. So for me, I think you should choose from the HRM, IT, or maybe rural. These are the comfortable or easiest elective which you can choose. Otherwise, please don't select central banking and risk management. That is the most toughest, right? You should choose elective paper in which you are comfortable, right? So ABM, ABFM, BRBL and BFM, right? These are the elective paper. These are the compulsory paper. Okay, so this is the ABM, ABFM, BRBL and BFM. Now here I will just show you module B of ABM. That is a very important module and very scoring also. That is HRA module, and we will have some question from that module, right? So performance appraisal, right? Performance appraisal topic we have taken over here. Right? Now, what do you understand by the word performance appraisal? Performance appraisal is basically review of your performance. Right? That is what? That is review of your performance. You have to identify in your team if there is any team member whether they are working properly or not. Right? So, basically you have to identify actual versus standard. That means whatever standard you have set here, what they have done in the actually, right? That you have to compare. That is actual versus standard. Now the first question is, what is the purpose of a performance appraisal in the organization? Option A is to determine the effectiveness of the hiring process. B is to assess the development opportunity for employees, to create a standard for work knowledge, performance and attitude. And D is all of the above, right? So basically, what is the purpose of performance appraisal in the organization? That is to determine the effectiveness of the hiring process. B is to assess the development opportunities. C is to create the work knowledge. So basically, definitely it will create the whether the hiring process was good or not, whether you have selected the appropriate person or not. Right? So that was the purpose of performance appraisal, right? B option is to assess the development opportunity for employee, right? So basically here you have to find out the development opportunity like training, promotion, right? And then work knowledge, performance and attitude also you can develop here. So the right answer here is all of the above. These all are the purpose of performance appraisal. Basically through performance appraisal, you can identify, you can decide actually about the promotion, you can decide regarding the salary increase, right? All these you can decide from the performance appraisal. So this is the very important aspect in every organization, because somehow the career of employee will be depend upon the performance appraisal. So there are so many methods in performance appraisal, traditional, modern method, right? Barriers are there. All you have to complete, because all you have to cover, right? In performance appraisal, these three topics are very important. Method, right? Then barrier and BEI, behavioral event interview. These three topics, right? Now the next question is, According to McGregor, a well-designed performance appraisal plan meets which of the following need? Option A is administrative for salary increase, transfer and promotion. B is developmental, providing feedback and understanding problem for poor performance. C is evaluative, assessing employees' job performance against set standard. So basically option A is what? That is administrative, right? You can decide about the salary increase, transfer and promotion here. Okay? Then developmental, providing feedback and understanding problem for poor performance, right? Then C is evaluative. You have to assess the job performance against a standard. So all of the above is the right answer, because see, through performance appraisal, you can decide what salary should be increased. You can decide whether transfer is needed. Promotion you can decide. Okay? And developmental is what? Through performance appraisal, you can decide about how many training needs are required. You can provide basically the feedback. Okay? So this is the right answer. Now the third question is, see, what is the specific objective? Now we are talking about the specific objective, not the general one, right? That performance appraisal system achieve. Option A is to ensure subjective promotion and salary increment for employee. B is to identify and address skill gap through training and development program. C is to motivate only low performing employee by providing them with recognition and goals to aim for. And D is all of the above, right? So through performance appraisal, you can identify and address whether is there any skill gap, right? So you can introduce the training and development program over here. What is the various uses? I think the right this question is not correct. Arrange the following step in the performance appraisal in the correct sequence. See, the performance appraisal is what? That is basically review the performance of employee, right? So through performance appraisal, basically you have to identify whether you have to review the performance. Actually, you have to identify whether that person he is performing in an appropriate manner or not, right? So basically you have to identify here actual versus standard, right? Actual versus standard, that you need to clarify. So what is the actual performance and what is the standard performance? Then measure performance, comparing standard with actual performance, setting standard, taking corrective measures, and that is discussing the outcome. So the option A is 1, 2, 3, 5, 4. B is 3, 1, 2, 5, 4. C is 3, 2, 1, 5, 4. And D is 3, 5, 4, 2, 1. So first you need to identify here the first step. What will be the first step in the performance appraisal? First, you have to set the standard. Okay? You have to set the standard. Whatever standard that there you have to set, right? So that is the number one. So I am eliminating option here. That is, this one is wrong and this one is wrong. Now we have the two remaining option here, B and C. B is what? That is third, 1, second, 5, 4. C is third, 2, 1, 5, 4. Right? Now this is the first one, setting standard. Now B is, second part is, you have to measure the performance, right? Before comparing, first you have to measure the performance, right? Whether that employee, he has done something good or not, that you have to measure. Then you have to do the comparison. Comparison you have to start, right? then you have to discuss the outcome, and then you have to take corrective action, right? So first you have to define the standard. Second is you have to measure the performance, and C is comparison. You have to compare with the standard with the actual performance. Then outcome, you have to identify whatever outcome is there, whether that employee he has done something good or not. Then you have to take corrective action according to that, right? So these are the 5 steps. Now after 3 what comes? That is measure the performance. That means third is also wrong. Now the remaining is 2. So I have used elimination method here. In the exam you need not to read all the option, right? First just identify the first step, okay? That is third option. So you have to already eliminate A and D. Then you have to identify the second step, that is measure. Then you have to eliminate the third option here, okay? So basically you need not to understand all these steps. It's all about speed in the exam time, okay? Now we will have the 6th question here. Which of the following is not a traditional method of performance appraisal? See, in the paid batch we have understood that there are 2 types of method in the performance, right? That is traditional and modern, okay? Traditional is what? Traditional is which we are using in the previous year. Now the modern method is ठीक है. So in modern method we have learnt about the MBO, then we have learnt about the human asset accounting, right? 360-degree bars, right? And assessment center. These are the 5 modern method: MBO, human asset accounting, then 360 bars and assessment center, right? What is the human asset accounting method? Where basically the employees will be treated as a human capital, okay? Employees will be treated as a what? Human capital, that is, right? So when an employee who is very talented, very trained, very skilled, if he is joining your organization, that means your human capital is increasing. If any talented employee, very skilled employee is leaving your organization, that means your human capital value is decreasing. So human asset accounting method is what? When the employees, talented employees, he is joining your organization, right? And it is not the traditional method of performance appraisal. Okay, it is a modern method. Traditional is what? That is 8 method we have done in the ABM. Free form essay method, force distribution, grading, ranking, comparison. These all are the traditional method. Grading, in which you will be given the grading. Then comparison. Here basically you are comparing one employee with the one employee to the other employees, right? Then force distribution, right? Bell curve is formed here. You have to give the forced distribution here. You have to put 10% employee in the, maybe 10 or 20 into the poor category, then average, then above average, then excellent performer, right? So here the human asset accounting is the modern method. That is not a traditional method. So right answer here is A, right? Now question 7 is, what are the characteristics of free form essay method? That is also the traditional method. That is not modern method. That is a traditional method, right? Free form essay method of performance appraisal. This is basically right. So that is free form essay method, in which you are basically, this is the traditional method, right? And first option is, it provide a structured and standardized evaluation of employee B is it allowed the appraiser to make an open-ended appraisal of the employee's performance. C is it is mainly used to compare employee's performance objectively. And D is it is typically utilized for appraising entry-level employee, right? So this is what basically free-form essay method is, right? Free-form essay method is a descriptive method, right? So in a piece of paper, you have to describe about the employee in a descriptive form, right? That this employee is very good in, he is very bad in that, he is very good in that. So that is basically the open-ended question. So it allows the appraiser to make an open-ended appraisal, right? This is a totally open-ended appraisal. There is no defined format, there is no standard structured format here. That is a totally open-ended appraisal. Fine. So that is B is the right answer. Which of the following is a drawback of the straight ranking method of performance appraisal? That is a very, very simplest method. It is like the school times, right? Suppose you have 5 team members in your team. That is A, B, C, D and E. And you have given them the ranking. Now we are asking about here drawback. You have given them C to 1, then this is second, then this is third, this is fourth, or maybe this is fifth. Based on their performance, you have given them the ranking, straight ranking. Option A is it is challenging to compare, right, individual with varying behavior trait. B is it provide a comprehensive and accurate evaluation of employee performance. C is it simplifies the performance of ranking employee based on their individual skills. And D is it allow for a fair comparison of employee with diverse job responsibilities. So we have to find out the drawback here. Okay? Drawback we have to find out. So that is basically A option is correct. It is always challenging to compare employee with varying behavior trait, right? I'm given them the ranking 1, 2, 3, but based on what? Maybe employee A, he is very honest, he is very good in some work. Maybe B, he is very good in some traits, some other work, right? So on what basis I'm comparing, that is not defined here. Because every individual, they have some varying behavior trait and we cannot compare them with each other based on, even without any basis, without any trait, right? So A is the right answer here. Then what is the comparison method of performance appraisal? Now in comparison method, what you are doing? Here you have the 5 employee. Suppose 3 employee you have. You are comparing A to B and C. Then you are comparing B's performance with A and C. Then you are comparing C's performance with A and B. Now that you have to tally whether between A or B, who is better, whether between A or C, who is better. Then whether between B or A, who is better, like that you need to arrive at the score. Fine. So that is a comparison method. Now option A is it rank employee based on their relative position in the organization. B is it assesses employee by comparing them with a standard set of performance criteria. C is it involves comparing each employee on various factors such as leadership and initiative. D is it is a modification of paired comparison method, right? So here basically B is the right answer. It assesses employee by comparing them with the standard set of performance criteria. So here basically you are comparing with each other. Then forced distribution method involve right? Then forced distribution method involve rating employee on what? In this method, the superior is asked to select a statement that this method forces the rater to make a specific choice and aim to minimize bias by using a standardized description. In forced distribution, what we are doing? Here basically bell curve is there, right? You have to identify your employee in the poor category, then in the excellent category, above average, then average, right? You have to identify. So the option is predetermined distribution scale, least describe, right, the employee. B is outstanding scale, best describe their senior. C is need improvement scale, best describe employee. And D is predetermined distribution scale, best describe employee. So D is the right answer. This is the predetermined scale, right? So now we have completed question here. Now, if you are watching this session first time, please subscribe the Officer Adda channel, right? Because here you will be getting the lots of news and lots of material related to JIB, CAIIB, bank promotion and IIBF exam. So here you have to click on the Adda 24/7. Then we have the JIB, CAIIB category here, right? There is a second category. Then here you have to go for the JIB, CAIIB Mahapack. Double validity is going on, right? That is a double validity is going on. And September 80, this code you have to apply, right? That is SEPT 80 plus 1% extra discount plus coins also you have to use, right? So this is the right September 80 plus 1% extra discount plus coins. This you have to use. Fine. And we have total 6 plus 6 month pack, 12 plus 12 and 3 months also there. The benefit of 3 month is all the elective paper, all the batches are included here. But for the validity is for 3 months. Then we have the individual batches also here, right? This is the CAIIB November, and here you have to apply for this is a bilingual batch and this is the English medium batch, right? Here also you have to apply for buy now, right? And then SEPT, that is September 80. This code you have to apply plus 1% extra discount plus coin. Fine. This you have to apply September 80 plus 1% plus coins, right? So with that you can get here 81% discount. Okay, 81% discount you can get here. September 80 plus 1% plus coin. This you have to apply, right? Chaliye, so we will ending session here and we will meet